Now your forecast first, sponsored by Feldco.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm your local weather authority meteorologist Zach Hatcher. We had some sunshine earlier, but the clouds have now rolled in here on Pontiac RV camera. 66 degrees in Pontiac, and satellite and radar does show some light returns moving in. I think a lot of that's not reaching the ground, but we might see a few sprinkles for a light shower before the day is over. Temperatures not bad, 68 in Peoria, 70 in Lincoln, and Macomb at 74. We'll drop temperatures to the upper 40s and lower 50s for tonight, and we'll warm up a lot more tomorrow. Talk about just when we'll see our next chance of rain coming up. WMBD News at 4 starts now.
Rebelling against the governor's orders. Today on the show, Central Illinois communities no longer willing to stay at home and watch businesses suffer. And campaigning during a pandemic. A third-party candidate joins the show to talk about the challenges facing independents trying to get on the ballot. But first, on this, the first day of Governor J.B. Pritzker's extended stay-at-home order in the city of East Peoria, saying it will no longer remain closed. Thanks for watching. I'm Eugene Daniel. Mayor John Call starting the first phase of a plan signed and sent to the governor by more than 20 Tri-County leaders earlier this week. Starting today, Call giving non-essential businesses the okay to reopen without fear of local enforcement. Retailers, shopping centers, gyms, parks, salons, barbershops, nail shops, all the city allowing to get back to work. The plan asks shops to take proper health precautions, including social distancing and wearing face masks.
Everyone's going to have differences of opinion, and as what you're hearing today is people can do what we're asking here, but they're also free to do whatever they want.
Call says business owners still have the option to follow the governor's order by not opening. The plan still does not let people dine in at restaurants, and it also should be noted the state can still take action on certain business licenses. Well, today the governor said that parts of the state might be allowed to reopen before June. The governor saying today if a region hits its peak number of cases, it may be able to get back to business earlier than expected. He says a consistent downward trend will indicate an area can move to the next phase, but the decision will ultimately hinge on hospital beds. The governor says even if a region appears to be heading down the slide, hospitals still have to be able to handle a surge of cases before it's safe to reopen.
Has to do much more than just a population in an area. It has a great deal to do with how much health care is available in that area.
Meanwhile, the state reporting today 3,100 new cases, bringing the total in Illinois to 56,000 people who have contracted COVID-19. You can keep up with the latest numbers related to COVID-19 in your community over at ciproud.com. And while the governor briefing Illinois from Chicago, this was the scene outside the state capitol building in Springfield. People protesting Pritzker's extended order, calling on him to reopen the state. Pritzker today saying they have the right to speak even when they are wrong. And those protesters in local governments like East Peoria, not the only voices calling for Illinois to reopen. Those calls coming from the federal level too. 5 Republican congressmen from Illinois asking the governor to take the shackles off soon and by region. One of those, Congressman Darren LaHood, who's joining us now live via Zoom. Thank you so much, Congressman, for joining us this afternoon.
Eugene, great to be with you and your viewers today.
Well, first I want to start here. This week, you asked Governor Pritzker to implement a plan to reopen Illinois by region. And today, the governor saying he's willing to do that in areas that show consistent improvement before May 30th. But here's my question. Do you think Central Illinois, your district, is ready to start opening now, and in what way?
Well, absolutely. That's why we sent the letter, my congressional colleagues that represent downstate and myself. There has to be a distinction. Peoria is not like Chicago. My district, the 710,000 people that I represent, has 19 counties, close to 20% of the state of Illinois. And we've been lucky. We have not had the infection rates. We haven't had the cases. 93% of the cases in the state of Illinois have come from Chicago. It doesn't mean we let up on the precautions that we put in place, but there has to be a tiered system, a more measured and a balanced approach. Other states are doing that, Eugene. You look at Iowa, you look at Missouri, you look at Michigan. They've done it in a phased approach. And I think that's what we need in downstate Illinois, the recognition that Chicago is not the same as Peoria. And there is a growing restlessness and anger and anxiety out there that we've seen throughout this week. And I brought that to the attention of the governor. I'm hopeful he will reconsider and start making changes again in a balanced, measured way to assist the people in downstate Illinois.
Well, the mayor of East Peoria said today the city is moving ahead with its own phased reopening plan, allowing businesses to open without the risk of local enforcement. What are your thoughts on what's going on in your district? Do you advise the city taking this route?
Well, listen, John Call is the duly elected mayor of East Peoria. I know John to be a very conscientious and responsible person. He knows what's best for his community. And I think, again, that's a reflection of downstate Illinois. Remember, Eugene, for 6 weeks, people in downstate have been responsible. They've been obedient. They've listened. They've been compliant to the CDC guidelines in the Illinois Department of Public Health. And to keep the shelter in place and through the end of May, again, I don't think recognizes it doesn't recognize that the one-size-fits-all approach that Governor Pritzker has taken to the entire state works. And so I think you're going to continue to have instances like this where the mayor of East Peoria and other mayors in downstate Illinois are beginning to want to transition to a better approach. And I hope the governor listens intently, which I know he is doing, but begins to open up the state and get us back to some sense of normality.
All right, last question. We're running out of time here, but money. The federal government has dished out a lot of money to help people try to stay above water during this pandemic, but local mayors like Peoria saying they're not getting a dime. What's the holdup?
Well, listen, the best stimulus package is getting people back to work. That's the first and foremost. So we have to get back to normality. Secondly, we have an obligation and responsibility at the federal level to get money to our cities and municipalities, and we ought to do that. Also to our states. And so when we go back to Washington, D.C., which is hopefully sooner rather than later, I wanted to go back next Monday, but Nancy Pelosi canceled our session next week. We need to go back there. I think it's a bit hypocritical that members of Congress are at home when we're asking grocery store clerks and truck drivers and people on the front lines as meat cutters and farmers. They're doing their work. We ought to be doing ours in Washington, D.C. And so I am supportive of helping out the mayors and our cities and municipalities with money to get them back on their feet and get them through this difficult time.
All right, Congressman Darren LaHood, thank you so much for your time today, sir.
Thank you, Eugene. Have a good weekend.
All right, you as well. Meanwhile, another person who signed that letter along with Congressman LaHood, Congressman Rodney Davis, a member of the president's task force to reopen the economy, sent in today recommendations to the White House to reopen the United States. Of those, he's encouraging for governors to open regionally, like you just heard from Congressman LaHood. They're saying specifically that Central Illinois is not like the Chicago area, for instance, within the state of Illinois. He also wants to lift restrictions on elective surgeries. The governor has started to do that already within Illinois, also ensuring that the food supply chain will run at 100% and that Congress in-person work by committees and focuses on transportation and infrastructure. Those recommendations sent to the White House. Meanwhile, in D.C., rural hospitals across the country have been hit hard by the coronavirus pandemic, and some are running out of money and resources. And our D.C. correspondent Anna Warnicki explains why some are now saying they may not survive.
I think some hospitals are having a very difficult time.
Texas Democratic Congressman Henry Cuellar says Congress approved billions of dollars in the latest CARES Act to help rural hospitals.
They got to make sure they have the equipment, the PPEs.
But Texas Republican Roger Williams says the rural hospitals haven't seen a dime. In a letter on Friday, Williams asked Health and Human Services Secretary Alex Azar to activate the funds immediately, saying, quote, "The entire healthcare system is strained to the breaking point. Rural America is under enormous pressure."
The CARES Act includes $75 billion for hospitals across the country, and the administration says $10 billion will go specifically to rural healthcare providers.
That will allow them to survive and remain viable, but also to maintain their service to their community.
Still, Texas Republican Congressman Jody Arrington says that's not enough.
I think everybody wants more.
Texas Democrat Lloyd Doggett says rural hospitals can't wait any longer.
So many of our hospitals that were under great threat before this pandemic ever happened Now they have declining revenues and increased needs.
Secretary Azar says the money will be distributed in waves. Last week, Azar said the approximately 2,000 rural hospitals across the country will be included in the second round of funding. In Washington, I'm Anna Warnicki.
Back to Central Illinois, the highest attended fireworks celebration of the summer being placed on hold. Red, white, and boom, which usually has over 100 viewers on the thousands of people on the riverfront between Peoria and East Peoria, will not happen on July 4th. One of the event organizers says this decision was very difficult to make, but was for the safety of people during this pandemic.
We had tossed around something like Labor Day weekend or another weekend in the fall. If we can't do it, we plan to be back bigger and better in 2021.
East Peoria Mayor John Call says with the financial distress that his city's currently in right now, he would not support any 4th of July event of that magnitude due to public safety issues and because East Peoria is going to have at least a $5.4 million shortfall due to COVID-19. A weekend warm-up. Meteorologist Zach Hatcher has your forecast when we come back.
You're watching WMBD News, Central Illinois Proud, with Eugene Daniel and Chief Meteorologist Chris Yates with your local Weather Authority forecast. This is WMBD News.